Good afternoon, Irene. This is Burrell Brown from Keller Williams Realty in Bangor, Maine. Just give you a little bit of a video here to show you around the property a little bit. Not much as far as layout, but I'll give you views of some of the rooms. The current room I'm standing in here is the nursery portion of the property. You'll notice we've got some plants going on in here right at the moment. There is a small lab here in the back, but this is where cloning is done and where the starting of some of the plants are, some of the nutrients that he uses. And there are also lights in here, smaller light setups, basically just for starting plants. I'll take you out of here and I'll take you to a couple of the grow rooms. Okay, next room we are in here is one of the grow areas. This is a 12 by 25 room. All new light setups in here for growing. These are all LEDs. As far as efficiency goes, lights are not on currently because most of the growing at this point is being done outside. But just to give you a look at one of the rooms, we do have a new Ameristar air conditioning and dehumidification unit set up in here, along with the amps and the ballasts for your light setups that you have in the grow areas. This is just a section of, as you can see, the roofs are pretty high in here, I believe just over 12 feet. There are rooms sectioned off, and off this room it does lead you out to the back, and you can get a pretty good view of the property itself, just to give you some sort of idea of the vast size of the property. And we're coming into some of the plants over here. Again, there is 72 holes currently in the property. There are 2 greenhouses on the property. These are all new plastics right here in these rolls for those additional greenhouses that he has set up. They are currently growing, but the plastic is not applied to them right now because this time of year you really don't need it. Another small grow room in process, just basically for doing smaller plants in here. Just one light setup in that one. It's a fairly small room, probably 10 by 12. Okay, another grow room I have here, another 12 by 25 room. All lights in here. These are not LEDs, these are an older type of light, but all new. You do have your fans in here for blowing around. Ventilation systems, like I said. This one is 12 by 24. And here we are for yet another grow room that we have here, Irene. This one is another 12 by 24 room, set up with the fans and everything the same way as the others are. You've got your buckets to set your plants into on the concrete floor. It is all concrete throughout. Nutrient room, basically for doing all the mixing of the nutrients and things that they use on the plants. And looking inside here, this room is used primarily for drying As you can see, there's nothing really hung up in here right now because it's not quite harvest time yet. But there is a heat pump here in the back, an air conditioning setup, but that's what this room here is used for, is primarily just for drying out product. Upstairs, Irene, this is, like I said, there is parts of the property that aren't used, up here being one of them. As you can see, huge open space on the second floor of the property. So plenty of room for addition and any extra space you might want. You can see a little bit of a structure of the building. Very, very large I-beams. This place is never falling down. We'll take that I-beam just for example. That one is just about 3 feet tall and probably better than a 1/2 inch thick plate. Just a quick look at the lab here, Irene. This is just the lab area of the property. See if I can get some lights on in here to give you a better vision. There you go. So this is used as a lab area, primarily for mixing nutrients and making of certain other items. Another behind the scenes look at some of the wiring and some of the systems for the building. Basically a utility room. Set up for your water system, washing machine. One of the bathrooms in the property. Workshop area. Your oil tank. Things of that nature. Small workshop and tool room. For everything you might need coming in and working on this place. Storage, extra lights, ventilation, equipment. This would be one of the garage areas. (24 by 24 roughly). 2 bays. Ventilation. This is basically storage for the tractors, 4-wheelers, tools, anything you might need around the property. Quick glimpse of part of the residence area. There is a gate at the front of the property that swings over just to try and keep anybody that just randomly shows up out. It would be a 36 by 65, I believe, greenhouse. Not currently covered. Like I said, covers are in the back room. This time of year you don't quite need them. But some of the plants here just getting ready, growing at the moment, so there's holes in here set up to grow. There are various coops on the property, chickens, geese, things of that nature, and other garden space, mainly for vegetables and things of that nature. Just some of the plants. Right around harvest time, which is coming up not too far from now. Some of these will be quite tall. Most of them are taller than me right now at 6'4". So these get to be pretty big plants. Here's another small greenhouse that's all set up. You'll notice there's plants and things of that nature. Again, this one's not covered, and there's no growing being done in this one. This one's used primarily for composting and storage of materials at this point. A water cistern hooked onto the gutter systems for the property, just help with a little extra natural water supply. And yet another garage space. This one's another one about 24 by 24, complete with basketball hoop, some storage stuff. He does keep a tractor in here, and firewood, because there is a wood burning stove in there. You've got hoists on the ceiling in here, and essentially 2 bays.